Macca's Guides.
Hey guys, Macca here, and today's video is brought to you from the YouTube space in Toronto. The topic of today's video is Xbox Project Scorpio, the upcoming beast of a machine by Microsoft. Now, we'll definitely be hearing more about the Scorpio at E3, if not sooner, but the console's release is definitely still shrouded in mystery. I wanted to take some time to talk about the 5 things that I think the Xbox Scorpio needs in order to be successful. Now, the first thing I think they need to address is a bit of the branding. I think they need to drop the One in Xbox One for a variety of reasons. Now, it's not a secret that the PlayStation is slaughtering Xbox in terms of this generation's console sales, and the Scorpio is supposed to be a big generational leap. I think it's important that they distance themselves from the Xbox One image. Although I don't mind the image, and although I like the console quite a bit, I think there is generally a poor reception by the masses on the Xbox One name because of the terrible announcement of the system in 2013. Now, to focus back on that point, obviously the Xbox One's initial reveal impacted the Xbox One sales, and the same will be true for the Scorpio, which means that the Scorpio has to have a good reveal. What that means is they have to show off the console, tell you what makes that console special, unique, and what makes it worth buying, and they also have to be very precise and accurate with their messaging to tell us exactly what we're getting from the console. Sometimes they have a little bit of an issue with communication, so it is very important that they get it right this time. Now, another thing the Scorpio has to get perfect is its pricing. Now look, I understand it's a premium product, but I personally believe if it comes in anywhere higher than 500 USD, it stands no real chance at mass adoption in the first year or two of its life cycle. In my opinion, there should definitely be a bundle under that price point for the average gamer, even if it is a hardcore machine. Last but not least, I want to talk about games. And there are 3 different ways that I think the Scorpio needs to approach all the variety of games it will be supporting. We'll start off with the older games on 360, but more importantly, Xbox One games. The Scorpio needs to do something to make those games better in some way. Whether that means more stable frame rates or better resolutions, it has to do something to make Xbox One games better. Next up, we have third-party games. The Xbox Scorpio has to be the best place to play third-party games. Whether that means that upcoming games perform better from a frame rate perspective, or whether that means they have better resolution, it has to do something to make third-party games the best on the Scorpio. Last but not least, we have first-party games, the games that Microsoft is making themselves from their first-party studios. Now look, Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2, I'm sure they're great games, but they are not enough to make gamers excited enough to buy a Scorpio when it comes out. They have to announce something bigger, better, and something more. Even if they announce Forza Motorsport 7, which is somewhat predictable, I don't think that's enough. Gamers need something to get excited about, and they need a reason to buy a Scorpio, and I think first-party games is probably the easiest way to sell a gamer on a new console. And yes, there are no true exclusives on the Scorpio, but give us something to get excited about. Just as a side note to this segment, I don't want to downplay performance. Microsoft has been touting this as the most powerful console of all time. They've been calling the thing a beast. And look, performance is very important, and what a lot of gamers get hung up on is just tech specs and numbers that at the end of the day don't really matter. So I think it's important to accept that this console is already going to be powerful, but we need to make the most of that power. And to do that, we're going to need to get third-party developers, first-party developers on board, and we're also going to need to make the Xbox One games we already have perform better. And that's a side note and completely separate, in my opinion, to the performance that the console's already going to have. Thank you guys so much for watching my video about the 5 things that I think the Scorpio needs to do in order to be successful, even though I think the list was like 6 or 7 at this point. Let me know in the comments down below if you thought I was on base with what I said. Let me know if you think I forgot something, and hopefully we can have a constructive and supportive comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching. Special thanks to Drop Dead Artemis and Darth Dave for supporting the show on Patreon. And hopefully I see you guys next time. Peace.